are. What is a putative marriage? A putative marriage is an invalid marriage. But the parties think, or one of the parties think, that it is valid marriage. Putative marriage is an invalid marriage. Invalid marriage, which is considered as valid by the man or the woman. Putative marriage. That's also invalid. Say for example, two first cousins married. If they had not obtained dispensation, it is invalid. They did not know that they have to get dispensation. Parents also did not check the registers that they are related. Finally, they are married in the church. They are thinking it is valid marriage, while in fact it is invalid marriage. Because they do not know it is invalid marriage, it is called a putative marriage. Once it is known, then it must be rectified. It must be rectified.
In church, some states, Father, they do marry with the cousins and all.
No, dispensation you need everywhere. Everywhere you need dispensation. Nowhere. In the Catholic Church, it is an impediment. You marrying your brother's daughter or your uncle's or aunt's daughter is an impediment. You have to get a dispensation. Without dispensation, marriage is invalid. Okay, so that's what in the third paragraph. An invalid marriage is said to be putative if it has been celebrated in good faith by at least one party. The party is in good faith, doesn't know. It ceases to be putative when both parties become certain of its nullity. When both of them are sure their marriage is invalid, then it is no more putative marriage. Just a distinction between all invalid marriages are not putative. If the parties know it, then it is not putative. It is not putative. Then the last canon, a word about engagement. Engagement. What does the church law say about engagement? Is it permitted? Yes. Is there a right to marriage after engagement? Not necessarily. But if the engagement breaks, there is right to compensation. That is common sense. They gave 4 sovereign of gold, one beautiful chain. Engagement breaks. No, we are engaged, you must marry me only. No, nothing of this. Of course, in the Jewish custom, we see, for example, today's reading, engagement means almost you become wife. You should not be conceived even after engagement. You can be stoned to death. But then it is not there. There is no right to marriage now, today, on the basis of engagement. It is an opportunity for the parties to know each other better. Marriage is different. Sometimes here, engagement is done by the boy's family and marriage by the girl's family, or engagement by the girl's family, marriage by the boy's family. They make so grand than the marriage itself. Whatever may be, how many video cameras you use, whatever may be the food you give, engagement does not give you a right to claim marriage. But if there is any loss incurred by the party, the other party is obliged to restitute, repair the damage done. Understand? That's what. This common sense is what is given. Sometimes without knowing that, we should not make it two things. Sometimes they don't distinguish only. Even sometimes some priests, when they go, you should know this is not a marriage. It is only engagement.
They bless someone.
Yeah, you can bless them, that you may get to know each other. Not you are not husband and wife. Don't say you are husband and wife. You are going, you have begun to love. May you be filled with graces. to get to know each other for the marriage. Accordingly, the prayer should be. A promise of marriage, whether unilateral or bilateral. Unilateral means only one party makes the promise. Bilateral, both say that I will marry you. Called an engagement, is governed by particular law, which Bishops' Conference has enacted. After consideration of such norms, such customs and civil laws thus may exist. Keep in mind civil law also accordingly. No right of action to request the celebration of marriage arises from a promise of marriage. But there does arise an action for such a reparation of harm as may be due. So that's what I said. No right to marriage, but there is right to compensation if one party incurs loss due to engagement. So these are the 7 introductory canons. So the introductory canons itself gave a what is going to be married, like that. We get an idea. Any doubt on any of the things? To recapitulate by canon, the definition of marriage is 1055. 1056, the properties of marriage. 1057, what makes the marriage, paragraph 1. 1057, paragraph 2, definition of matrimonial consent. 1058, the right to marriage possessed by all human beings. 1059, laws which govern the marriage, any marriage. 1060, marriage enjoys the favor of law. 1061, what is ratified marriage? What is ratified and consummated marriage? And what is the presumption with regard to consummation? If they live together, we think it is. After 1 month they come and say we have not consummated, means they have to prove. We presume that it is that. They have to prove. Only then we can apply for dispensation. Then 1061 para 3, what is putative marriage? Then 1062, norms about engagement. In the course of this, briefly we saw also what are the ends of marriage. In the first canon itself, well-being of the spouses, and then procreation and the education of children. The old code said primary end and secondary end. But then the new code doesn't say. Doesn't say. The old code said mainly procreation and education of children, primary end. Good of the spouses and remedy for concupiscence, they were called secondary end. But now nothing about remedy for concupiscence. So in order to control your desires, it is that is not mentioned. That is not mentioned. And then one important point yesterday I said, regarding consent, the old code said, what is the object of consent? You tell me, I did not explain elaborately. Again, I will, after the notes, I will give you. What is the object? They give consent to what? 1057, paragraph 2, no? The consent.
Matrimonial consent is an act of the will.
Act of the will.
By which a man and a woman, by an irrevocable covenant, mutually give and accept one another for the purpose of establishing a marriage.
So, the object of consent is giving and accepting one another. So, now it is very clear. The old code said, object of consent is use in corpus. Too much focus on the body. Right over the body they were giving essence. Not only right over the body, right over the whole person. So that is one change. Please note it. Yesterday I forgot to mention it. The object of consent is giving and accepting one another the total person, not merely right over the body. You give the right over the body to your spouse. No, not merely that, more than that. Giving and accepting one another. For the purpose of establishing marriage. So later on we will see. Somebody wants to extend the visa. That's why I am marrying you. This is not for marriage, only for visa. I pretend to be your husband or wife for 3 years, that I may stay in this country for 3 years. That will be called a simulation. Later on we will say they are pretending to marry, but while in fact they are not really marrying for the true purposes of marriage. Okay. Now we start a new topic after the introductory canon. First chapter, Pastoral Care and the Prerequisites for the Celebrations of Marriage. First part, Pastoral Care in this chapter. Then requirements for the celebration of marriage. So you are all going to be pastors also. MSFS has some parishes. Even if you are not parish priest, you will be assisting the parish priest here and there. But then you see the different kinds of preparation that we have to do. First of all, the word pastors itself, it refers to bishops and priests. Pastors of souls. Deacons, they become pastor after ordination. They are for service. So pastors of souls. So, who has to provide pastoral care? The canon says principally the pastors, but then the subject is their own church community. Note the word, their own church community means all the people in the parish, all the people in the diocese, according to their talent and ability. According to their talent and their ability, must help in the pastoral care of the marriage. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? So I am only paraphrasing what is given in the first part. The purpose is to preserve the Christian character of the married state and develop it. Christian character of the married state must be preserved and developed through the pastoral care. That is the purpose. So, Christian character must be. What is the Christian marriage? What is the purpose? What are the properties? How it can be preserved? So, all these things have to be kept in mind. The preparation for marriage is both general and personal. Is both general and personal. There are 4 paragraphs in this preparation. The first paragraph speaks about general preparation. General preparation. The number 1 actually. Number 1 is general preparation. Number 2 is personal preparation or immediate preparation. Personal preparation and also immediate preparation. Number 3, liturgical celebration. Number 3, liturgical celebration. And number 4, pastoral care after the marriage. Pastoral care after the marriage. Okay. Now one by one we can read. The first one is general preparation. It can also be called remote preparation. Preparation for marriage starts as soon as the child is born also, because they must be brought up in a good family. They will learn about marriage and family from the parents and the family. So read one by one. Number one. This assistance is to be given principally. Pastoral care, assistance for the pastoral care is to be given mainly, means there can be other ways. The word principally is used because there can be other ways. It is not exhaustive but indicative. What are the ways of pastoral care and the preparation for marriage and assistance after the marriage? One of you read the first paragraph. By
preaching, by catechetical instruction adapted to children, young people and adults, indeed by the use of the means of social communication, so that Christ's faithful are instructed in the meaning of Christian marriage and in the role of Christian spouses and parents.
Yes. You see, what are the ways? The remote preparation, one thing is preaching. Second one is catechism. Catechism to different people, children, young people and adults. And then the manner of catechism and teaching by use of social communication. By use of social communication. What is the purpose? Of course, imparting the knowledge of Christian marriage, and then the role or the responsibility of spouses and parents, husband and wife and parents. So first part, this overall marriage preparation, pastoral care doesn't start during the marriage. It must start from the level of the children. So everything is clear. I have paraphrased that first paragraph. So one is preaching and catechism. So, catechism to all the Christian community, whole Christian community, according to their need, understanding ability. Next is, of course, you have to make use of the means of communication, PowerPoint, WhatsApp, Internet, all the modern techniques. What is important is that we take the message across to them, different ways. It should not be monotonous. It should not be monotonous. Then, of course, the purpose. Let them understand Christian marriage. Let them know what it means to be a father, what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a husband, what it means to be a wife. So it is your responsibility, the remote preparation. Then the proximate preparation or immediate preparation is for entering marriage, so that the spouses are disposed to the holiness and the obligations of their new state. This preparation especially for adults of marriageable age. Adults of marriageable age. They may marry in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Okay. For them, we have to. So many dioceses organize at different levels. That is the proximate preparation. So the canon speaks about here about the obligations of their new state, holiness of the new state, obligations of the new state. Number 3, liturgy, fruitful celebration of the liturgy. This is very important. fruitful celebration of the liturgy. The marriage mass, for example, some people say, making a lot of noise. Oh, the other one, sorry. This morning also, you are all prepared and everything, introduction, things like that, homily. So it is for us, you remember, every mass is a very wonderful opportunity to impart faith, to help the people in faith. You know, some of the churches is beautifully written. Remember, O priest, celebrate this mass as your first mass, last mass, and as the only mass. You must think before celebrating the Holy Mass, when you are going to get that opportunity. This is my first Mass, this is my last Mass, this is the only Mass. The great Francis of Assisi did not celebrate Mass. He died as a deacon. He felt unworthy to be ordained a priest. The great Francis of Assisi. That is the case we have to. Sometimes people rushing through the prayer and then not following, understanding it. That is not at all good. Same thing with regard to that. When you later on become a priest, even if you forget other things about canon law, at least Father told us that to celebrate Mass with so much devotion. If you are not devout, then how will you expect the people to be devout? Very much you have to put into practice. You will celebrate the Holy Mass with the devotion. Say for example, I did not speak about first of all an introduction. What is the purpose of introduction? Some people think you have to summarize the readings. According to me, it is not to summarize the reading at all. In today's first reading, in today's second reading, all that. There we are going to have a homily on the reading. So you need not give a summary of the readings according to me. The purpose of the introduction is twofold. Welcome the gathering. Introduce the theme. The theme need not be from this. Say, suppose Jesus healing the 10 lepers come. My dear brothers and sisters, happy that you have come for this celebration of the Holy Mass. It's a really wonderful opportunity that we are gathered here to praise and thank the Lord, to ask for our needs. Okay, one sentence or two sentences maximum. Do we not feel hurt when somebody who has been helped by us forgets us so easily? We know what it means to experience the ingratitude of the people. Today the Lord invites us through this celebration to be grateful. To be grateful to Him, to be grateful to all His blessings that has come to us through our teachers and parents. Let's feel sorry for the moments when we were hungry. Finished, not going on and standing homily some priests are giving because they don't preach another homily. Don't speak more than 4 or 5 sentences when you become priest, when you give introduction. Suppose you want to preach 3 minutes homily, all right. I give introduction, Father, don't say. Never break the bread unless you want to break the word. Don't be pujaris. Never break the bread unless you break the word. But don't give standing homily at the beginning. There will be a few more people at the time of the homily after the gospel. So ask them to sit. Don't make people stand and go on talking. Please remember this. Even when you come and give introduction, some people don't have the courtesy. When you are going to talk more than 1 minute, why do you go on reading? You can stand reading. I can stand teaching. I can teach standing position. But then I cannot listen standing position for a long time. It's very important. Like that marriage liturgy. I remember one couple, Anup and Karen from Resurrection Parish here. Now it is 4 years since I blessed their marriage. Both of them are professors in St. Joseph's College. One day they came to me at St. Peter's. They said, Father, we want you to celebrate our wedding mass. I said, I don't know you. When I don't know the man or woman, I never accept to celebrate the mass, bride or bride. No, but we know you, Father. We have seen you celebrating a mass in Indiranagar. So that's why we decided, Father, that you ought to celebrate our mass. If you give consent, then we will come with our parents, they said. Like that they came. It was 1 year ago, before their marriage, they came. Next year, or more than 8 months was there. Then they prepared the marriage liturgy. Father, there are different choices. Which prayer I be like, this prayer be like, Father. This reading be like, Father. And the reading was prepared. Introduction, so nicely it was. The marriage was celebrated in the Cathedral of Bangalore. Now they are blessed with a baby also. The way they inspired me through the preparation of the marriage liturgy, it's really wonderful. Somebody give that paper for them to read. They are struggling and sweating, and then they say, never prepared them for that. Never prepared them for that. Preparation of the marriage liturgy. For you it is one more marriage. For them an event of a lifetime. Never forget it. Somebody shouting in the marriage mass. The whole mood is affected. Shouting in the funeral mass. Already they are weeping. Showing all your power and like that. Never do such a thing. So, and then why, Father, they are not in, one priest says, they are not in a position to listen to the homily. Don't worry. There are others, you are preaching not only for them. People who come for the marriage and the funeral are people who rarely come to the church also. Some of them. You have a wonderful opportunity to proclaim the resurrection during the funeral. I don't want you to preach long homilies. You can preach 3 minutes homily, 4 minutes homily. Make it a point to make the liturgy really meaningful. Really meaningful. And you should know to read, to proclaim the gospel with